The Let's Explore series started off as a simple walk down to Manly Beach, but then the key feature of the Let's Explore series revealed itself.
We can go A, across the rocks, B, forward across the sand and see what's at the other side of the beach, or we could go C, explore what is inland. I'll see you guys next time on Let's Explore.
Using the YouTube poll card, viewers voted for where to go next. For the second episode, inland got the most votes. You'll quickly notice here how awkward I felt recording out in public as I tried to explain why I gave the series the name Let's Explore.
It doesn't look very clean, that water. Okay, let's keep going now. Some of you are probably wondering, why did I call this game, why did I call this, about to say let's play. Why did I call this series Let's Explore? Well, the name Let's Explore actually comes from the name Let's Play when you're doing like a, you know, a Let's Play game series. So Let's Explore is almost like you're exploring the MMO outside because it's the real world.
As I made my way further inland to the lagoon, you'll notice that I specifically state how embarrassed I am in front of all these people.
Yeah, this is one of those awkward points where there's so many people around.
It was cool to see all the dogs here though, and it wasn't long before I just had to give one of these little cute creatures a pat. We then continued going inland along a long bicycle path, before deviating to do some bird watching.
We can do some bird watching actually. Let's see what this bird does. Oh, he flies away.
Anyway, continuing along through the trees, we eventually came to a clearing with outdoor exercising equipment, before reaching a road and giving viewers a choice on where to go next.
So make your pick. A, B, or C.
In the end, C got the most votes and we were off on our journey again.
The conditions for walking right now are not the greatest.
Although unfortunately, it was super windy and bugs were everywhere.
$10 in stupid bugs going all over me.
You could even see other people shooing bugs as I walked past. Bugs weren't the only thing after me though. I soon realised that dogs had it in for me too.
To Warringah Mall. So I guess if that's the way my gosh. Why did that dog just...
Luckily, the bugs seemed more interested in a white car later on.
Look at that! They're just ganging up on this car.
Or was this just a distraction method to almost make me miss the traffic lights?
Dreaded. Ah, yes! That's what you call great timing.
Anyway, continuing down Pittwater Road, I started to see some shops. But before long, it was time to end off the episode and let viewers pick where to go next.
A, B, or C up here.
This time around, viewers chose to go off-road and into Nolan Reserve.
Look at that. There's all these birds flying really, really low down along this oval here. So I'm hoping none of them hit me.
Continuing along, I saw what I thought was the start of a bushwalk and went inside. It started off cool and I saw a bit of wildlife too. Next up, we saw a park and yet another reserve next to a golf course, where we spotted a player for a little while before moving on. Our off-road adventure ended pretty quickly however, as we came out past the McKellar Girls campus, and past a car that was missing its badge. Before ending off the episode, we saw some quirky street names, which encouraged me to say the lamest joke in the history of lame jokes.
You've got over there Quirk Road and Lovett Street. Must be sponsored by McDonald's. You know those ads? McDonald's, I'm loving it.
The fourth episode then came to a close.
Directions A, B or C. Make your vote now in the top right corner. I will see you next time. Goodbye.
So as I continued to walk on down yet another road with houses, I eventually came to quite a busy area with a ton of shops.
You got your Domino's pizza over there?
I made my way to a traffic light to cross the road, and while waiting, I realised I wasn't in Kansas, a suburb of Manly anymore.
Yeah, there we go, you can see it says Pharmacy Advice Manlyvale, so yeah, this is definitely Manlyvale that we're in now. Is that a Bentley? Look at that, there's a Bentley. Okay.
After crossing the road here and walking past a church that was welcoming me with a huge "Welcome to Church" sign, I noticed what seemed like a dog sitting in the driver's seat of a car across the road.
This is officially a dog driving a car, dog in the driver's seat.
Going along further in search of a bushwalk, The road leading towards it seemed to go on forever. I noticed a few native Australian plants along the way, as well as a rainbow lorikeet hiding in a tree. Anyway, the road finally came to an end where I found Mermaid Pool, which I thought was going to be a bushwalking track, but boy was I wrong. The path quickly turned steep and rocky.
Oh my gosh. Look at this. This is like not even a proper bushwalking track. Am I just walking? Is this actually a bushwalk track, or am I just walking in wilderness right now? Well, look, there's a sign of human life here, a bottle. So, I must be in the right place.
Continuing on, I found a little waterfall, and upon attempting to walk up it, I soon realised I totally missed the proper bushwalk.
Ah, there's a bridge up there. Is that where we're supposed to go?
After getting somewhat lost, I decided to backtrack and make my way out. And that's when I discovered the location of the real bushwalk.
Manly, this is the bushwalk. There we go. That's what we were looking for. I went the wrong way before, but this is where we're supposed to go. Okay.
Anyway, it was time to vote for where to go next.
So we've got A, B in the bushwalk, or C back where we came, but then go that way.
Surprisingly, after all that, the bushwalk didn't even get the most votes.
So no, we are not going on the bushwalk this time around. What has gotten the most votes is actually coming up this way and going back around here.
Overall in this area, as we walked along Manly Vale, it appeared that a lot of construction was going on. We walked past multiple houses under construction, and quite a few construction vehicles drove past us.
Well, that blew some stuff up in my eye.
Everything became more quiet as we began walking away from Manly Vale towards Brookvale and Allambie Heights. We entered yet another reserve as I walked past the childcare centre, which was the perfect opportunity for me to begin talking about the times when I used to work in a childcare centre. Well, mainly the freaky times.
And another time, there was a man taking photos of the children, and as soon as I kind of pointed, he quickly ran away as fast as he could, jumped into a car that was like driving away. He was just, some car was parked, and then it suddenly drove up to him, and he hopped in the car and they just zoomed off in the car.
Anyway, continuing on, we made our way into a suburb known as Allambie Heights, where we saw a pretty awesome looking tree. I also suddenly started taking a good look at all the mailboxes.
It's interesting to see like all the different styles of mailboxes here. Look at this. Got this mailbox. It's like crinkle cut and funny numbers put on. Then you've got this mailbox, which I don't know why, it makes me think of like old-fashioned times, like really, really old-fashioned times. And then look at this, you got this mailbox, which is like, oh, that is cute, it looks like a birdhouse. And it's really rusted up the top. These are cool mailboxes.
Moments later, I finished off the episode.
Our choices now are A, we can go down this way, B, we can go up that way, or C, we can go back this way, but instead of going from the road we just came, we'll go straight ahead and, yeah, just straight ahead.
When episode 7 came along, so did the rain. People really wanted to see the mall, so I brought along a map to help me find my way there. The umbrella I brought really drove me nuts throughout the episode though.
I hate umbrellas! I hate them!
I often had to place it down and sit under a tree to check the map, as holding a map, umbrella and phone all at once was extremely challenging. Continuing along a nice path with heaps of trees on each side, as well as an intensely red flower, we eventually made it to a bus stop, where I took shelter once again to check the map. After walking further towards the mall, I spotted a school with a name that definitely didn't suit it.
The beach school. We are nowhere near the beach, but there is the beach school.
Finding the mall in this episode was taking way too long, but luckily it stopped raining, so I put down the umbrella and asked my viewers which shortcut through the bushes would take me to the mall.
Or we could go this way, this is way B.
Before episode 8 started, I scared away a vicious looking dog simply by standing still. He then ran past me shortly after the first episode started. Anyway, after walking through a bush track with really unstable ground, I eventually made my way forward back to civilization. After walking for not too long, I eventually found a sign for the mall, so I knew I was getting close. For the life of me, I couldn't find the normal entrance to the mall though, so I had to cut through a car park. As I started walking around the shops of the mall, I felt quite awkward. Luckily it wasn't too busy due to it being the late afternoon. However, on the downside, most shops were shut. Overall though, being in the mall in this episode was a nice change of scenery.
You've got Sunburn over there if you want to get sunburnt. You've got Games Paradise, but they're probably closed as well. You've got sparkly stuff over here. I like all the displays. Oh, here we go. Could potentially... Can you win a Porsche?
After a while of exploring the mall though, it was time for this episode to come to an end. Unfortunately, I incorrectly labelled the travel vators as elevators here.
We could go up the elevator for B, so if you want to go up the elevator, just say go B.
Luckily though, I said it correctly in the next episode.
Since you guys wanted to go up the travel vator, yes, this is a travel vator, is to reach the top of the mall. So we're going to try to get to the roof.
My goal to reach the top of the mall didn't take that long, and I made it there almost right away. On the way up, I noticed a strange insect that I couldn't quite identify.
Whoa, look at this. I don't know what that creature is, but it is massive. Look, that's the size of my finger, that's the size of that creature. So if you know what that creature is, tell me.
Once I reached the top, I checked out the not so impressive view and started planning my way out of the mall.
At least it's a ramp, but I don't know if humans are allowed down there, or it's cars or just humans, I'm not sure.
Anyway, I quickly made my way out of the mall while stealthily recording and started walking through Brookvale where I was much more free to talk.
We've got the east-west, How can you have east-west engineering? I mean, I'd understand northeast, you know, like north. Never eat soggy wheat bix. Is that north, south, east, west? Yes, I think that's how it goes. I would understand like northeast, because that would be like facing that way, or northwest. But how can you have, what was it? East-west engineering. It's like, choose a direction to go, seriously.
I saw a huge foresty hill in the distance and tried to get closer.
Is there a road out of here? Ah, I feel like there's houses up there. How do people get up to the houses in there? Do they just jump off the ground and go boing to their house? There'd have to be a way to get up into that area.
Sadly, it didn't seem like there was any way to get up there.
No, this kind of looks like a dead end.
And I had to turn back the way I came. Finally, I ended off the episode awkwardly in a rush due to running out of space to record and being embarrassed around the people standing nearby.
A, we can keep going up this street, which kind of seems like the furthest from what we've already been to. We can go B.
When the next episode resumed, the road that was previously clear was now absolutely packed with cars.
When you hear about Sydney, you'll often hear about stuff like, oh yeah, Sydney is just a big rat race. If you wonder what that means, this is what it is. These are the rats, and they're in the race. Well, the race is finished. They're really just going home right now. But there's the rats, and they're in the race to get to the city every morning.
As I continued walking through Brookvale, I became so confident with talking about random stuff in my life out in public that I only occasionally briefly pointed out various things in my environment.
There's something crazy. Oh, look at that. That is so cool. They've got pencils coming up. Anyway.
As I came closer towards the CBD of Brookvale, we saw quite a few shops.
Not exactly what I'd call paradise, as the sign says up there, but you can see it's extremely busy around this area.
It felt quite funny being in this area though, as it just so happened to be near where I used to work.
It's up that hill and around the corner is where I used to work in my own business, and my lunch break I'd go to this McDonald's. Oh, this is such a creepy feeling right now.
In fact, I then walked up the road while talking about a recent sleep paralysis experience.
And I looked, it was 9 AM and there was a dark figure actually sitting on me. Sitting on the bed on me, so I could not move.
And then I took a look at the place I used to work at.
It's a block of units, 2 levels, and it goes out far out the back, and some of the units have their own backyard. Now, this is where I actually opened a family daycare centre. I had 4 children every day, and this is where I looked after them.
Anyway, our journey had once again come to an end.
And down here, if we keep going down there, that will take us down to a place called DY. Now, DY is known as the dump of the northern beaches. It's where you get all the cheap properties and you get a beachside living.
When given the opportunity to go towards a friendly suburb known as Beacon Hill, or two slightly shady suburbs, viewers seem to have been on my side and chose the safest one. By the looks of it, it seems viewers are sending me away from the Sydney region altogether towards the Central Coast region of Australia. There's a lot of national parks and uninhabited land though between Sydney and the Central Coast, so this could be quite a long journey. By the way, the car in this picture is a Ferrari Dino. These were produced between 1968 and 1976. Somewhere in the first 10 episodes of Let's Explore, one of these was right in front of me. Yet I didn't even comment on it as I didn't notice it until I made this compilation video. As a challenge, see if you can find the point in this video where I was standing near a Ferrari Dino. I'll pin the comment of the first person who is able to spot it. Anyway, keep following our journey further and let's see where we end up in the next episode of Let's Explore.